Hi, my name is Chris Jablonski, and it is my great joy and privilege to serve you as your minister. I'm coming to you with my family again for our From Your Minister Junior edition, where we tell a story and then we have the mailbag. And this story is one of my favorites. It's a story we've been telling for a really long time, and it's the story of the first butterfly. And it begins before caterpillars were becoming butterflies. And so it was even more strange that this caterpillar had this dream where in the middle of the dream, he was out higher up in a tree than he had ever been before, stretched out on this huge, beautiful leaf, covered in sunlight. It felt really, really good, really vivid in the dream. He could feel everything that it was there. And all of a sudden, in the middle of his back, had this strange tingling sensation. And then the tingling became a reaching too. And he felt himself kind of expanding, and it felt beautiful, felt so good that it woke him up, and he ran with all of his little legs to tell his dad. He told him the entire story. He told him about the tree and the leaves and the sunlight and all of it, and then told him about the sensation in the middle of his back, and then the reaching and the stretching. And his father said, whoa, 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 whoa. I used to have dreams like that too. All you have to do is not pay any attention to them, and they'll go away. And this didn't feel good to him at all, because there was something true and beautiful and good feeling in the dream, and he didn't want it to go away. And so late that night, got back to bed, and sure enough, he was swept up in the same dream, and there he was on the leaf, in the sunlight, feeling good, feeling warm, and that same tingling sensation in the middle of his back, and then the same stretching sensation, and then all of a sudden, out of the stretching, two beautiful wings unfurled. And they stretched out in the sun, and the wings were warmed by the beautiful sun, and it felt incredible. And as soon as he woke up, he ran with all of his little legs to tell his grandmother. And he told her the whole thing with the tree and the leaves and the sun and the unfurling and outstretching of the wings. And she looked at him and said, "Don't tell anybody about this." She said, "You have a good life here. There's a lot of leaves for us to chew. We're safe. We have a strong, strong family. Don't tell anyone about this dream." And he felt really sad. And so he made a very difficult decision, but he decided to leave. And he crawled down from where they lived, and he crawled farther and farther and farther out into a part of the forest he had never been to before, where the smells were strange and the sounds were frightening. And he got really scared, and so he found a tiny little rock which had a little leaf right next to it, so he could kind of curl up in a safe feeling place. But he held his breath because he heard footsteps coming close and closer and closer, and he was shaking his whole little body when all of a sudden he saw little webbed feet step out into the clearing from where the leaf opened up between the leaf and the ground. Then another webbed foot, and then another. But then the strangest thing, after the webbed foot, there was like this fuzzy leg. And he'd never seen anything like that before. And then sure enough, a duck bill came out, and then a fuzzy head. And he was just confused. And then this beautiful, strange looking animal looked in straight at him and said, "Are you okay?" And he could tell that he was safe because this animal had such kind eyes. It was the first platypus he had ever seen. And the platypus said, "What's the matter?" And the caterpillar told him the entire saga, told him about the dream and the tree and the leaves and the tingling and the unfurling and the sunlight. And the platypus said, "Let me tell you a story." The platypus said, "One day, my great-great-grandfather had a dream just like that. And he had a dream that one day there would be an entire species of animal with webbed feet and duck-billed and fuzzy heads and bizarre-looking tails, and everybody laughed at him too. But he knew who he was, and he dreamed that dream so deep that it became real. And he told us every year about this one dreaming that was so deep that it wrapped himself in this magical cocoon, and he became what he was destined to be. And the caterpillar felt so clear and so good. Right then, he left his tiny little hiding place, and he looked up, and sure enough, there was the tree from his dream. And he could see about halfway up this tall, tall tree, there was the leaf from his dream. And he climbed up, and sure enough, it was bathed in this beautiful, strong sunlight. And he climbed to the middle of the leaf, and he lay there, and he closed his many eyes, and he focused, and sure enough, he was swept up in that same dream. He swept up in the dream so powerfully that it wrapped itself around him. And there, inside this cocoon, he transformed, he dissolved, he became something entirely new. And the next thing he knew, he was opening. And it was that same beautiful, brilliant sunlight. And he stretched, and he had that tingling in the middle of his back. And he unfurled. He had these glorious, beautiful wings. And everyone after that saw what he had become, listened to his story, and they too took flight. And I wanted to tell you all that story, especially today, because it seems like we're all in these strange sort of cocoons. This cocoon of this time, these cocoons of our houses. And I pray, as much as this is hard, and as much as this is strange, that something beautiful emerges. And that within this strange time, that we all remember who we most deeply and truly are. Amen. And so now it's time for our mailbag. Oh, well, our unicorn has the day off. Internet fame has gone a little bit to her head, so she'll be back next time. But we have the rest of the team very much here. So, Jack, what is in the mailbag today?
Hazel from Belmont asks, when was the guanabana discovered? And connected to this, Audra from Belmont asks, what is the origin of the guanabana?
So we had a bunch of guanabana questions from Hazel and Audra, which was really fun. And so we actually did some research. And what did you find, Jack?
The guanabana, also known as the sour sop, for some reason.
I guess it's because it's sour.
Probably.
Its origin is completely unknown. And when it was discovered, also unknown. This is a very, very weird plant. Fruit.
Jackfruit,
But
some
it's
plants.
native to tropical regions of the Americas and the Caribbean.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Keep the mailbag questions coming. And as always, if there's any way that we can be of support, do please reach out for you, for your families, for your parents, anything we can do. And thank you very much. And know that you're held, and that you're loved, and that we'll get through this all together. All right, thanks a lot.